Took the day off today just to chill. Oh, look, there's some bee poop. There's a dead bee. Oh, yeah, a little bit of poop. A few getting out or pooping. Anyway, I didn't plan on coming here, but the temperatures are rising, and I wanted to make sure that the entrances aren't blocked with snow, because when the bees want to go out to poop, sometimes they poop and make a mess. Oh, look at this. Sometimes they make a mess inside the hive if they can't get out. They just... This part is that. Yeah, some bees buzzing in there. That's a lot of dead bees. I mean, not a lot. Just take a look here. Yeah, they're really small bees. I don't know what it is, but maybe my bees make small winter bees. Boy, are they buzzing. I gotta get tweezers or something just to clean the dead bees out of this. They're right there buzzing. So it's probably nothing, but what I hope isn't happening is, see this? This is snow or ice, whatever, melting. It's pouring down the hive like that, right? That's it. And that can happen inside the hive too. That can happen inside the wrap, in which case moisture is going to get held into the side of the hive, and it can break the propolis seal between the supers, and water can get in. Or there just might be a crack between the supers, and this melting snow and ice can get into the hives, and probably over in the back end of the hive, usually in the corner somewhere. It all gets moldy, and the frames on the edges just start getting wet. And when they're wet, the bees don't want to have anything to do with it. And this is a condensing hive, so there is no upper ventilation, which I don't think is an issue. And in fact, I know it's not an issue unless water gets in from some other source, in which case it might be this. So that's the only concern I have, is that there's water inside the hive from someplace else. And that can cause a little bit of extra moisture and condensation. But again, even then, the condensation isn't above the bees, it's on the side, so it's not a huge deal. But see, they're buzzing. And they're close to the bottom. So, all kinds of things going through my head. So why aren't they, in the middle of the hive? It could be that they just they have enough honey, and they don't need to go up right now. But maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's moisture up here, maybe on the side, something's driving them down. There could be a mouse up top. There's all kinds of crazy things. And there's nothing I can do about it. So this is it. If I get a warm day, I will come by again. And you can see too, some of those entrances are still open, so they're fine. But yeah. That's the only thing I really care about, is whether there's moisture coming in, leaking into the hive. The condensation that the bees produce isn't a big deal with the condensing hives, but if there's another source of water getting in, when they get warm, if they notice light coming in from the bottom entrance, the bright light shining off the snow like this, along with this fresh air and the warm fresh air, it triggers them to come out and poop. And with this bees, look, I can't hear. I'm gonna see if I can hear them. Oh, see what's going on. Oh yeah, they're in there. They're just higher up. They're higher up because they're actually a slightly taller hive than that one. Slightly different configuration. But anyway, these are the bee cozies that I'm using for the first time on full hives this year. Like, as long as moisture doesn't get behind them and hold and get the hives wet, I think we're okay. That's really all I care about, as I just want to have bees that are perfectly sealed inside the hive, And with that, the condensing hives will do beautifully. I know it's uncommon to do that in Newfoundland. Most people have these, what's called a DE hive. I think Gerard Smith sold a lot of those, and then a lot of people just continue to follow that method. But I'm not saying that doesn't work, but I think this works better. What you learn when you start beekeeping is usually what you stick to, and I get that because it took me a long time to try this and realize actually this works better. But yeah, anyway, you stick to what you learned, and you just don't bother trying anything else because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think this is actually a better system, and it's a lot easier too. Just one man's opinion. It's possible they were just reacting to me, the sound of me, and all this hard snow, the vibrations of my feet just going into the hive and got them alarmed. If conditions were a little different, I think I would just remove the mouse guard and clean out some of those dead bees. This is the only thing too. You can see this is wet, right? And so if there's moisture inside the hive, then it's just going to be like raw wood that gets wet and pretty much holds the moisture in, even though there's some beeswax covering this bottom entrance. And that's the only thing I am a little bit concerned about with all this. I think the lack of an upper entrance is fine, but I might put some extra ventilation down below, just like like a hole in the middle of the bottom board. If there is any accumulation of moisture, it has somewhere to go or something like that. Anyway, I've got high hopes for these bees, and I think this method is working out well. And if these bee cozies end up doing the job that I want them to do, then I've got pretty much settled on how I'm going to keep my bees in the winter from now on, and for the rest of the year actually, because the condensing hive setup works all year round. Anyway, looking good. Oh, there's some bees flying, or a bee flying. Oh, there's one down there too. This is the one I thought would be buried, but they're not. Let's see here. I'll pull this up a bit. Oh, yeah. Same kind of thing as the last one. There's a few, I can hear them buzzing, and there's a few dead bees clogging some of the entrances, some of the holes, but overall I'm just going to leave that alone. Again, the only thing I'm concerned about is, could there be water seeping in somewhere, like behind that, getting into the hive? But yeah, sounds all right. I hope it's good.